Good evening and welcome to Crossroads. A society can be understood through its music. It captures the sound and words that resonate with the civilization. It relays the inner feeling, the emotion. Popular music tends to be defined by what people find desirable and what they find relatable. In ancient China, music and medicine were closely connected, going back to the first emperor. Different traditional instruments were even believed to resonate with different elements and in turn with different organs of the human body. Harmonious resonance was believed to be part of good health. And in other civilizations, music was partly what united empires. There are stories of ancient sage kings uniting tribes and into kingdoms using music. The bardic songs can incite in its listeners happiness, sadness, love, or hate. Evil lyrics can elicit desires for lust or even violence. Religious music can instill feelings of grandeur and reverence for the divine. It was held in the past that good music is a sign of a stable empire, and evil music can mark the end of a civilization. And it's for these reasons and many others that, it's worth paying attention to what type of music people listen to. It shows what resonates with people. It shows what they want and how they feel. Music can show you the heartbeat of a nation. And something very unique is happening with music in the United States right now. Several songs have recently gone viral. In March, former President Donald Trump reached the top of iTunes with the song Justice for All with the J6 Prison Choir. In May, you might remember, Forgiato Blow is going viral with his song Boycott Target. More recently, Jason Aldean became a national phenomenon with his song Try That in a Small Town. And now, it looks like a new song is resonating even more with the nation. A man in Farmville, Virginia posted a video. He stands on the edge of a plot of land. His audience is just his 3 dogs which lay on the ground nearby. He wears a simple t-shirt and pants, and as he plays his guitar, his face turns as red as his beard. It captures something, this raw emotion. He sings of the stresses and the corruption of the modern world, the loss of the world that we grew up in, the way we watched it change into something unfamiliar. High taxes, low pay, political actors getting rich while breaking society. The man is Oliver Anthony. And he just started actually writing music a couple years ago. His YouTube page is mostly videos of him playing songs recorded on his smartphone. And his song, Men North of Richmond, was his first that was relatively professionally set up. Just a day before it published, he released a video sitting in his truck where he explained why he writes music. Watch.
And now I spend a lot of time on job sites and I meet people from all across the country. And the universal thing I see is that it's like no matter how hard they push and how much effort they put into whatever it is they're doing, they just can't quite get ahead because the dollar's not worth enough. It's being overtaxed. People are just sick and tired of being sick and tired. And so, yeah, I want to be a voice for those people. And not just them. Just humans in general, and some of the struggles and the battles that they go through.
And then the song released, and overnight, Oliver Anthony became the biggest name in country music.
Living in the new world with an whole soul. These rich men north of Richmond, Lord knows they all just want to have total control. Want to know what you think. Want to know what you do, and they don't think you know, but I know that you do.
Love to play more of that. Let's go on. It seems like he actually wasn't prepared for the reaction of the public. His only contact is an email on his YouTube page. We reached out to him, actually. He hasn't done any big media interviews yet, likely because his email is probably flooded. He has one account there. But he wrote this on Twitter. He said, "I'm still in a state of shock at the outpouring of love I've seen in the comments, messages, and emails. I'm working to respond to everyone as quickly as possible." But he did make a public appearance soon after. He was one of the performers at a free show at a local farm market. Little farm market, kind of middle of nowhere. and people flocked in like it was Woodstock. There was bumper-to-bumper traffic. Some people even flew in to see him. It was something, really, that was an incredible spectacle. He signed autographs for 4 hours. People sang along with him. He had to pause several times while singing between the applause and cheers of the crowd.
And it's tax to no end, cause the rich men north of Richmond.
Now, amidst all this, something else happened. YouTubers, people on different streaming services, they started posting reaction videos all across the internet. Many of these people are from people who don't seem like they'd be particularly into country music. Again, under most circumstances, let's say. But the videos on these, they focused a lot less on the music genre, much less on technical skill, and a whole lot more on the passion, and more importantly, the message. Many were like rap artists. Others were gaming channels. Some were people who, do shows on guitar lessons. And many of these videos themselves racked up hundreds of thousands of views. It seems like across the board, people are moved by the message of this song. And then the corporate media chimed in. And what did they do? Well, they painted Oliver Anthony in partisan politics, divisiveness. Seattle Times reported, newly released country song, Men North of Richmond, from unknown artist, instantly becomes right-wing anthem. The Guardian claimed the song about hardships of the working man being crushed by high taxes and bad policy. They focused on him saying they're taxing one while giving free handouts through welfare. They're saying this is criticism of the needy. And it declared the song, quote, punches down, and then said, it's no surprise the right wing loves it. Variety, they even rolled out the conspiracies. They suggested that the instant success of the song has progressives, wondering if Oliver Anthony is a plant. Now, a lot of the media focused on the fact that the song has a brief line as well, criticizing child sex trafficking. Now, I didn't realize that was a bad thing to criticize, but hey, I don't think like the mainstream media, I guess. It includes a reference to the atrocities of Jeffrey Epstein.
I wish politicians would look out for minors, and not just minors on an island somewhere, Lord.
Now, conservative shows and news outlets, meanwhile, largely praised the song. But in reality, it doesn't fall on the conventional side of the Republicans or the Democrats, at least not the old school ones. Mr. Anthony even declared in his video before the release that he identifies with the middle of the road. He sees both parties as being part of the same agenda. He stated this clearly. What he stands for, though, is something else. His song is part of a shift taking place in the country. Some could argue, and I believe it's the case, that even Trump may be part of the same shift. It's populism. It's the average citizen. It's the trucker caps, the rallies, the belief that we just want to live our lives and not get dragged into wars, drained by taxes, micromanaged by big government. We don't want it. People just want to live their lives. Now, folk music has always been the anthem of the average person. It's the song of everyday life. In America, the country music tradition was originally based on old Irish melodies, and folk music was traditionally, taking old melodies, changing the lyrics to fit the realities of the times. Irish melodies, for example, turned from the oceans to the American plains. Love songs, the names were changed from European cities to American towns. Songs of the whalers became the songs of the cowboys. In America, though, big business has taken over much of the music industry. Songs are written by AI, pop stars lip sync the lyrics. It's a big show of fakery, and it tends to make an easy dollar by capitalizing, usually by using unsavory desires. You make people want it by using unsavory things. But something real in that whole industry is rare. It happens when a song resonates with people, when it shows how people think, and maybe even makes them think a bit deeper. The significance of this song isn't just about this song in particular, or about Oliver Anthony even. It's been part of a trend recently. The new protest song, The Cry of the Everyman. What it shows is a cultural shift, and it's part of something bigger. This is something actually really significant. The late journalist Andrew Breitbart famously stated that politics is downstream from culture. To change politics, you first need to change the culture. And it's not just me saying this, but a lot of others as well. The censorship we're watching, the attacks on the American people, the J6ers, the prison sentences, the crazy things we're watching, the political attacks, the rolling indictments on Trump, these are not the acts of a confident system. These are the acts of a desperate system. It ties to something I was told recently, in fact. I was speaking with a friend from Brazil who said in one of his darker moments, facing the corruption and cares that, especially in his country, that we're seeing all around the world, he asked the Brazilian philosopher and journalist Olavo de Carvalho, what hope is there in this world? And one of the last things Olavo de Carvalho said before his death was this: you can't change politically that which exists culturally. And this is true. History shows it. Policy cannot derail a cultural movement. Persecution cannot stop belief. The reality is, right now as we speak, there's a shift taking place. And when a shift like this, an awakening, reaches into the culture of a nation, or even the whole world as we're seeing right now, no form of political action can keep it down. Well, folks, that's it for YouTube. For the rest of the episode, come join us on Epic TV. We have a special sale right now, flash sale, 25 cents for a week. It's nothing, 25 cents. Cash that in, get your subscription to Epic Times. You get a ton of content, documentaries, my special features, including the one in J6 just recently, and also, of course, the rest of this episode. We have some really important discussions coming up, including the, regular claims of politicians that they're just going to cut the budget. Of course, because they're in budget talks right now, and they may actually do it this time. We'll talk about what exactly they're discussing and what it means for us. Also, what's happening in Latin America. Really big shifts, actually. You have a populist movement sweeping the entire continent, Central and South America, actually. And this can have real implications for the United States. A lot of people aren't watching what's happening. It's very significant what's going on there. This means a lot for us, and also the leftist movements trying to stop it and subvert it. Many of them are tied to the same movements here. It's an important discussion. Again, join us for that on Epic TV. 25 cents, flash sale, 1 week. Come get it. And I will see you over on Epic TV. Link in the description.
People from 160 countries illegally cross the U.S.-Mexico border and give themselves up to Border Patrol. But what about the ones who evade Border Patrol? These are known as the gotaways.
You can safely assume that anybody that went through the extra effort to avoid U.S. Border Patrol was not an asylum seeker by default.
It may not be today, it may not be tomorrow, but somewhere down the road, if somebody rapes and kills somebody, and we find out that they came through here on my watch, that's unacceptable.
These men had surrounded my house. They were banging on my back door. They were banging on my front door.
You can't understand it unless you're out here seeing it every day. 21 dead bodies on the property.
Code 3 response.
Is it wrong to ask people to come to your front door of your home? Then why would it be wrong to ask people to come to the front door of our nation?
Their primary goal is to circumvent the checkpoints, go undetected.
People that do not want to surrender, those are going to be the potential terrorists, the criminals, the real threat to the U.S.
We were hoping the federal government would step in and do something, but they didn't.
We have no clue who they are or where they're going. That's the scary part.